I got you now. I can see
How
you.
are
I can
you?
see you. How you doing, beautiful? You good?
I'm doing good. I'm so happy to talk to you. Thank you for taking the time out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We had to, maneuver. I called with Verizon. They supposed to have everything right, but hey, we here, so it don't matter.
It's okay. It's okay. So I want to go ahead and start it. I'm so excited about your new album, right? Can We Fall
Yes,
in Love? Tell me all
yes, yes.
about it.
Well, basically what I did was, I hadn't cut a record in 5 years. So what I did was I wanted to make sure the temperature of the room was right still for R&B music out there. You know what I mean? And talking to a lot of my fans, they like, yo, but we need an album from you, bro. Every time I go on live or whatever, they like, well, where the music at? So I kind of sensed that they really wanted some R&B music. You know what I mean? So to go in the studio with my man T Sales, unbelievable young man at T Sales, everybody, you know what I mean? We went in there and we didn't go with a game plan. We just went in there to create great music. You know what I mean? And of course, I like to talk deep and dive deep into relationship driven records. So you know what I mean? I just had a good time and tried to come out with the most honest music that I can produce at the time.
Right. How long did it take you to complete everything?
Not long at all. I hate to say it because I don't want to be braggadocious, you know what I mean? But it wasn't long. I could just say it like that, because once I get into a rhythm and a groove with a great producer, and we start bouncing ideas. I mean, it really happens very, very fast. You know what I mean?
So what's a studio like with you? Like, what do you like to bring with you in the studio? What is the studio like with Avant? Tell us.
Studio with Avant is a lot of thinking. It's a lot of processing. It's a lot of oh yeah, that might work. Oh, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? But it's not, hey, let's just sit down, take everybody drinking, everybody partying. No, it's mental. It's very mental in there with me. You know what I mean? Because I know that what I'm producing is coming out to the world, and it's my perspective of what I'm bringing out to the world. So it's
Right.
very important for me, to bring you guys my perspective, and and I'm trying to help. It's almost therapy to me when he's talking about music. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So if I could be a part of that therapy to help people, then that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm in there to do.
Mm-hmm. So what can people expect, from your ninth studio album? Like, what are you most excited for?
Well, just the raw, honest, R&B really is. You know what I mean? And the vulnerability that you get from it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, men don't like to be vulnerable. And that's why we rather deal in lust, not lust. We love to deal in lust because it's so much easier to process and deal with. Like, yo, I just had fun with her last night. But when you dealing with love, like I named the album Can We Fall in Love, then you're showing your vulnerabilities, and it's like, ooh, because you know how love is, you in and out of it. It's like, yo, today you beautiful, but tomorrow I might not stand. I can't stand you. You feel what I'm saying? And that's a process throughout life that we have to deal with once you be in love with someone. I believe it's, we have kind of crazy weather over here too.
No, it's
You know,
okay. You may have to repeat what you said, but it's okay.
it's all good. It's all good. So, yeah, well, I don't know exactly where we ended off at.
And I was asking, like, what made you decide to put out the album right now, and what can people, look forward to from it?
Oh yeah, well, basically, like I said, I was off for 5 years, musically, and I was trying to find the temperature and making sure people really wanted R&B and from the everybody all the love I'm getting, they truly do. So the nature of it all was just basically finding the right space for it and making sure that it was authentic as I could
Mm-hmm.
possibly bring it. And I kind of accomplished that.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you said you was watching the versus battle last night, right?
Yeah, man, that was
I
good. That
did
was.
too. I loved it. I loved it. So let's just say, putting it out there, that's Wiz and Tim coming to you and say, "Hey, let's do a versus battle." But you pick. Who would you pick to do a battle against?
It's really not me. You know what I'm saying? It's about the fans. You know what I'm saying? So whatever they do, I'm cool with it. But at the end of the day, it has to be authentic and genuine like it was, with those guys, which it really wasn't a battle. It was
Right.
just fun. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? At the end of the day. So that's what I enjoyed more than anything. I enjoyed the music. They had the hit records. They took you back.
Mm-hmm.
DMX with the anthems. Oh man, it was, then Snoop just, with his pimping and, you know what I mean? Then the early Snoop, the cool gangster. Oh man, it was authentic. It really was. I had a great time.
Yes, it was so amazing. I hope we get to see that versus with you and with someone as well.
Yeah,
um,
whoever, that's no problem.
yeah. And so I also want to ask you now, what advice can you give to someone who wants to follow in your footsteps and be this amazing genius when it comes to music and business like yourself?
Oh, I appreciate that. What I would say to people out there is that be you, be
Mm-hmm.
authentic. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's going to resonate with the people. They can sense fakeness. You know what I mean? So, and at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you stand and you continue. If you're doing something that you really it's not you, then it's hard to continue to make that.
Right.
But when you're authentic and you're doing what you truly are and what you truly love, then it's easy. Like I go in the studio, I don't have a problem with trying to find out what's the new vibe today. I don't care. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even listen to the radio. I have a 17-year-old son. He keep me up on what's popping. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I know that I created a fan base that love what we do in R&B, and
Mm-hmm.
I have to feed them, from my perspective, what I feel R&B is today.
Right.
And
Exactly.
R&B, like everything else, people say, well, how are you dealing with the pandemic and all this? I said, God created us that we can transition.
Exactly.
And that's very important for people to understand. Music has a transition too. So I can't give you a My Thoughts album right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That was my first album. I
Mm-hmm.
have to transition into the new world order. But I can't get away from R&B while transitioning. I think, and that's what a lot of artists fall short at because they try to get away from what the people want. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And also, what is it like, running your own record label? Like, what is most rewarding and what is most challenging, do you think?
Well, at the end of the day, what's most rewarding is that you learn from mistakes from
Mm-hmm.
past, record labels, and it's what's more even more rewarding is that you're in the driver's seat now. You're in the passenger no more. You feel what I'm saying? So you can get your rewards right off top. With me being blessed to just with Pandora alone being streamed 1.8 billion times.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, the guy from Pandora said it was only 600 other artists that had the billion streams. So I'm so blessed just to be a part of those 600.
That's amazing.
And yeah, it truly is. And but being in the driver's seat now, you got to understand you cannot have a rearview mirror in the driver's seat. You got to continue to push forward. I'm sorry, I use a lot of metaphors when I talk, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's all about us learning more and more. Like I use my daughter, which is 7 years old. I use my son, who's 17 years old, to continue to teach me the new wave.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because the old stuff is not. That's the rearview mirror. It's not gonna help me in this world. So that's what I'm all about right now.
I like how you put that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So I also want to ask you as well. Now, out of all the songs you've written and produced and created, do you have like a couple of your favorites or that you have wrote before or just sung before?
It's hard, and I don't want to be generic
Probably some.
answer, but it's like you got to think about it. When it's all moments for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've said this many times before, but it truly is. It's about moments because music it has its own platform. It has its own era. It has its own style. It has its own feel. So, when I'm writing a song like Read Your Mind, I'm in a club. You know what I mean? I write a song like Don't Take Your Love Away, I'm watching TV. I write a song like, Making Good Love, I'm making good love. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, it's all different moments. So it's hard to call one the baby, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense. Now, have you ever been given advice that you've always, stuck with to this very day? And if so, what was it?
I'm always looking for advice. You know what I mean? I've been blessed. I remember talking to Charlie Wilson a couple years ago. And he was like, yo, just continue to write. Always keep that pencil sharp. I remember that. I remember talking to Ron Isley and him telling me, he don't remember the last time he was broke. I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? That's a heck of a statement, but it was the truth, you know what I mean? So it was just all of these tidbits that I try to get from everybody. You
Right.
know what I mean? And it's like, and I try to make them manifest in a normal, in a organic way
Mm-hmm.
in my life. You know what I mean? So, really trying to learn from everybody and not take, not know, not, sometimes not knowing is the best way.
Right.
Because, you know what I mean? You can always come with your whole profile. Oh man, I got it. But somebody could teach you something easier. My daughter do that to me all the time.
That is so cool. Now, also, speaking of, Can We Fall in Love? Do you remember like the first song or album that you fell in love with? It doesn't have to be yours, just the first song
Wow.
or album.
I can say the first song I probably fell in love with was wow, it had to be Superstar by Luther Vandross. Yeah, man. Oh man, that song, because it's a story. Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? That song, man, it's so amazing. And it was a remake. It was actually a pop version of the song that he totally flipped and remade. That's when I knew his talent was just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's so cool. I want to say thank you so much for taking time out to talk to me. I know you have to go. You have a book of interviews to do.
I know, yeah.
I know your PRS, like, we gotta go. I definitely understand. I thank you both. You
Thank you.
keep being amazing. I'm gonna keep supporting you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. And thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you, babes. Peace.
Bye.